Hello, and good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. I am not in the UK. I am in Bali currently. So, yeah, it's morning for me right now. It's like literally 10 a.m. Yeah, like it's wonderful being able to travel, being able to see new things. And I just thought to myself, like, I really want to go live. I want to connect with you guys. How are you all doing? Can you hear me and see me all right? Because, like, literally the Wi-Fi is not very stable here. So just wanted to just check with you guys whether you can hear me and see me all right. How is everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody, to the live stream. Oh my God, like, so it's been really, really warm here. Obviously, it's really warm. But today, out of all days, it's literally torrential rain. And last night we had a thunderstorm. Hello, Eric. Hello, Susan and Movie Sonic. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so Louisiana, who have we got in the house? Like, so I'm in Bali. Where is everybody watching from? I like doing that. I like seeing where you guys are, kind of like where you're from. So last night we had a thunderstorm, and it was very theatrical, let me just say. But I've got to say that at least I managed to sleep like proper hours. So I kind of was asleep from like 11, 10:30, 11, and then I woke up. It must have been about 6:30, 7 a.m. So I was like, yes, the jet lag is gone. Like, I've slept properly. So we got Louisiana, we got New York, we got Utah, Bakersfield, we got Portland. Oh, this is wonderful. Hello, Tyson, Catherine, Ricky, Adriana. This is wonderful. So yeah, so I know that I've got a lot of you US people, because I think the time difference is like, I think you're like 12 hours behind or like 10 hours behind. So I guess it kind of works for you guys. Yeah. Right. So today on the live stream, we're going to be talking about can the narcissist change? Like, literally, can they change? Oh, it's 9 p.m. where you are. Yeah. So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. That's what. Yeah. So Regan, I'm literally 12 hours ahead. Sweepstakes. Hello, Oxford. Oh, bless you. Literally, don't stay awake. Watch the replay. Watch the replay. Your sleep is more important. Believe me, I know what sleep is like. I've literally suffered from this jet. Like, literally, this is like literally third world problems, like first world problems. Not being able to sleep. So sleep is important. Sleep is very, very important. So Oxford, go to sleep. Because we know, I talk about this on the lives, like how important sleep is. So please, guys, go to sleep, watch the replay. Right. Oh, bless you guys. This is so cool. Like, I can connect with you guys. We've got Minnesota, we've got Mississippi, we've got some really cool places. Really, really cool places. Okay, my love. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry, Oxford. That's fine. Stay awake but it's really lovely to hear from you. It's really lovely from all of you guys that you are here. So today, I'll just get into it. So today we're talking about, do narcissists ever change? Now, I do want to say, just a reminder, that the Wi-Fi is not great. It's all right because I'm streaming here, but just in case we do get cut off, I'm really sorry about that. So kind of like I'm trying, but that's why I just want to get into it and answer your questions. So guys, if you have any questions, please do put it in the chat. Love to hear from you guys. So tonight's stream, we're literally talking about, do narcissists ever change? Basically, can they evolve? And is there hope for a healthy relationship with them, if at all? And I'm not talking about, oh my gosh, you're going to have like the most amazing, healthy, wonderful relationship, but is there a possibility of actually having any sort of relationship with them? So we're going to break it all down from psychology to real life experiences. So grab your tea. Today, I haven't got tea. I've got this juice, right? This is amazing. So this has got like, what's it got in it? It's got ginger, lemon. What else did they say? I think it's got like apple, dragon fruit, and I think that's what gives it that kind of color. Yeah, the fruit here is so, obviously it's exotic, but it just tastes like another level. Obviously, like in the UK, and I don't know whether it's like that with you guys in your country, but it just doesn't taste nice. It doesn't taste like proper. It's got no taste to it. Like, for example, so in the UK, I don't know, like tomatoes taste like red water, literally. Cucumbers, it just don't taste of anything. But I feel like as soon as I go abroad, and especially here, you know, like mangoes taste like mangoes. You know, like dragon fruit tastes like that. And they've got really exotic fruit here that I don't know the names of, but they're so pretty, like the colors. I notice these things. I know I might be a bit of a weirdo, but I notice these things in nature, you know, and I mean, look how beautiful this has got no colorings. This is just like literally pure juice. So I'm just really grateful, you know, that I get to experience this, that I get to taste this, because honestly, it means a lot to me, guys. It means a lot to me. So yes, so we're going to be diving in. So let me know in the chat, have you ever experienced a narcissist to ever change? Do you think that change is possible for a narcissist? Drop a yes or no in the comments, which would be lovely to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Like, I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Like, what are your thoughts? So some of you are saying no, some of you saying yes. Keith says no for $5,000. Yes, you're right, Keith. But even in the UK, even if I go to like local markets, you've got to understand that in the UK, a lot of the fruit and vegetables is imported because, to be honest with you, we don't actually have sun. A lot of the UK food and produce is grown under plastic in the Netherlands. So it's, and I don't know, I don't know why. Maybe I don't even think that the Netherlands do get more sun than the UK, but I feel like that part of Europe, especially in the UK, you literally like, yeah, it's all grown under plastic, so none of it tastes like proper. You know, this juice, like it's like it. I don't know, like I can taste it. It's got that natural sweetness. So, guys, if any of you can ever like get natural produce, you're right. Go to the like fresh farmers markets, not the local, not the grocery store, the supermarkets that we have. But yes, completely agree with you, Keith. Yes, but in the UK, you're not getting the real deal. Still, that's the unfortunate thing, because we just don't have sun. A lot of you are saying that it's not possible. Bookie Killer says no, they don't change, they adapt to manipulation. And do you know what I would say? I would say that probably would be the right thing. Like, it's not really possible, and I'm going to go into it. I'm going to basically explain why it's not possible for them to change. Okay, and do you know what? A lot of us are really empathetic, are really kind. Like, we would love for them to be able to change. We would love for them to be able to change and have like a better future for themselves, because of course, like, you know, I think at some point we reach this kind of point where we think, you know what, we do actually feel sorry for you. We do actually feel for you, because like it's challenging to be able to have to live this life. Like, you realize that it's really difficult, you know, to be in that traumatized state, to be in that anxiety, to be thinking that all the time and not be able to change, not be able to have like a different type of life. And it's draining, isn't it? Like, it's draining, because we do get to notice, or we do get to see, or we do get a window into the way that they are, you know? And so, you know, because we're so empathetic, because we're so compassionate, we think like, okay, as we understand you've got mental health issues, we understand you've got emotional issues, but like at some point, you know, it'd be good for you to go to therapy, it'd be good for you to go and change, and for you to have that awareness and see a different way of life. But the thing is, they don't. And they can't, because they're stuck in these rigid thinking patterns, or these behavioral patterns. So the reason for this really is because narcissism exists on a spectrum. Okay, and just depending on which level, which part of the spectrum they are on, it just all really depends on how big these defense mechanisms of theirs are. And it's all to do or all kind of connected to the ego. Now, I know a lot of people talk about healthy narcissism, and this is just my opinion. I don't actually think that there is such thing as healthy narcissism. Narcissism is narcissism. And what we're talking about here is a personality disorder. This is something that a personality disorder cannot be cured. All right. And it can be managed with therapy, maybe not even necessarily medication. And I remember, this is all my opinion. So this is not facts. This is not scientifically proven. These are just my opinions. Narcissism is behavioral. You're not actually born with it. It's environmental. So you learn it from your environment. You learn it from your caregivers, your parents, people around you. And what it is very closely associated with your ego. Okay, and so your ego is all about your survival mechanism, your survival instinct that you've got. And so you develop these narratives, you develop these behaviors to help you to cope with quite a traumatic, quite a stressful environment. And usually this is because of childhood trauma and environment. This is neglect. This is overpraise or inconsistent parenting. This is where the child doesn't feel safe within their environment. And so what happens, they develop these coping mechanisms which are unhealthy to be able to deal with what is going on around them. Okay. Narcissism, personality, like the narcissistic personality disorder, this involves entitlement, a lack of empathy and manipulation. It's all about getting what they want. Whether this was neglect, whether this was overpraise, at the end of the day, you're used to a certain rigid way of parenting. You're used to your environment being a certain way. So what you do is you develop these coping mechanisms to be able to deal with your environment, which means that it's been unsafe, it's been unstable. Even so, when you have had overpraise, because if you think about it, when you are praised a lot, you have to live up to a certain expectation. And remember, this is childhood stuff. This is this child, okay, learning to cope with being overpraised. So they have to develop a way of being able to serve, to give their parents what they are looking for all the time. Even though you might think that when your parents are praising you and giving you everything, you think that that is a positive interaction. But where are the boundaries? Where do you know what is right and what is wrong? So when you are overpraised, you have to develop a certain personality, a certain way of living, a certain coping strategies to be able to deliver, because you know that as a child, when you are not giving, when you are not performing, when you are not delivering, you know that that caregiver or that parent's praise is going to change. So there's no stability. So you can't feel comfortable. You realize that you cannot be yourself. Similarly, like if you are being neglected, okay, or you have inconsistent parenting, you know that you have to be a certain way in order to get your needs met. Again, similar to like when it's overpraise, you have to develop a coping strategy. Can you see how this works? So it's inconsistent. You don't feel safe in your environment. And so you're constantly trying to cope. And what happens is that your brain functions or works differently. So they are brain differences. Studies show these differences that are in the prefrontal cortex, which is here located behind your forehead, and your amygdala, which is located kind of like in the back, you know, where your spine meets your skull or your head. That's where the amygdala is located. And that's all to do with the emotional side, the emotional regulation, the emotional understanding. So there are differences. So can you see how these parenting styles or these environment styles, what happens is this really changes the way that your brain functions. And it's really sad, isn't it? It's really sad that this happens. But again, this is all to do with the way that your brain is functioning. And that's why That's why it's really hard, if you really think about it, for a narcissist to change, because you've developed these rigid behavioral patterns or these emotional ways of coping. That's why it's very difficult for a narcissist to change. When we're talking about neural pathways, when we're talking about the way that your brain works, you can't really change that. The only way that you can, and remember, you can only make slight differences, is by being aware. So this is about the way that you think, the way that you behave. So this is like neuropsychology, neuro-linguistic programming. You have to be aware. Now, if narcissists, if we're talking about this, they have rigid defense mechanisms. Okay, they develop this false self to protect them against these deep insecurities, which is why they're always manipulating. This is why they have to control their environment. So it's going to be very difficult for a narcissist to be able to develop self-awareness and understand it in a completely different way to make lasting change happen. And now some of you might even be thinking, well, a lot of them do actually go into therapy. Yes, they do. A lot of narcissists do go into therapy. But what I have to challenge here is, what is their motivation? Why are they going into therapy? What is it that they want to get from that interaction? A lot of the time when you have a therapist who is unskilled or unable to understand this, will also get manipulated, because a narcissist will like to gain some sort of validation, some sort of praise from that therapist. And that's really what manipulation is and getting validation. Most of it is all about getting praise, about getting attention. This is what they didn't get as a child. Like, I'm talking true, authentic praise, but also this is how their brain has been adapted to think. This is how they behaviorally kind of adapt, because this is what they have learned in childhood. So they're going to be wanting or doing the same behavior to get their needs met. So if they're in therapy, they're going to be looking for validation from their therapist. And if a therapist or a counselor is not trained in this or doesn't recognize the patterns, that they're also going to fall into that bracket of being manipulated, of being gaslighted. A narcissist won't tend to stay in therapy, because if you have a therapist who is likely to challenge, and not in a bad way, obviously, like when you're in therapy, you do need to be able to challenge your clients. And I'm talking from experience, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your client to think in a different way. So if that is the case, then it is normal in therapy to be challenged the way that you think. A narcissist is not going to like that. A narcissist is going to try and bend the therapist's way of thinking into theirs, which is what they have done with you. So how effective is therapy really for a narcissist, and how motivated is a narcissist to really change? Now, I know I don't really like talking about this, and I don't really like kind of saying this, but I'm just going to mention it briefly. I know that even on YouTube, there are a lot of self-aware narcissists. They claim that they are self-aware. And I think to some level, to some degree, yeah, you can achieve self-awareness, but not 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, how aware can they be when they have these rigid self-defense mechanisms? Keith says, I got to the point, I saw the lies and I wouldn't let her control me. She just did it, not respect me. Exactly. Exactly. Your handles on YouTube, I've got to say, like, they are hilarious, but they are great. So Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Desmond situation where people lost 95% of their brain matter and still function at 100% capacity leads me to believe that the brain might be just an antenna receiving. Possibly. This is another way of looking at it. So, that's a great perspective. Just Be Real says they are still liars. Yeah, like I would say that they're still motivated to behave in that certain way of thinking. So if someone is looking for validation, if someone is looking, to get their needs met, then they're going to do whatever it takes to do that, to get their needs met. So this is what we have to remember. I think a lot of people would like to think that, narcissists can change, or people can change when they go to therapy. But therapy takes time, effort, and motivation, okay, in order to be able to have lasting change. But if you don't have that motivation, and remember, narcissists, what they are thinking of is more about getting their needs met. That's their motivation, not to change, to become a different person. That's quite challenging. And not having the foresight, the understanding of why this is really happening, then, and also one other point that I have to make here is having not understanding empathy is also a real issue. Also says, Anushka, can you address spinal warfare from demonic narc energy, malignant narc sister in my dream every night? So tired of it. It's been years. Why won't she leave me alone? Do you know, thank you, Oxford, for bringing that up. I've got to say that I've had quite a lot of clients who have been, like this couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, that have been talking about the dreamscape, and how they have been dreaming of their narcissist, how they've been dreaming of that. And I feel like, so there's two aspects to it. There's the spiritual side, but there's also the psychological explanation. I'm going to talk about both, because this is up to you, which one resonates with you the most. So I don't know, has anyone else been dreaming of their narcissists? Have they been appearing in your dreams? Yes, so quite a few of you have. So from a psychological and emotional perspective, oh my goodness, Kat, yours strangled yours in your nightmare. It's frustrating, yeah. After 2.5 years. Okay, so there's two reasons for this. The psychological and emotional explanation for this is, when we are functioning at this state, this is our waking state. Okay, so this is our alpha state, conscious state. We're very much more in our ego state. This is where the ego is functioning a lot more. We're more in our mind state. Some of us are more evolved emotionally, so maybe we might be functioning from an emotional mind state. So we have a propensity to understand things a certain way. However, when we are asleep, we are very much so in a subconscious state, in a beta state. Okay, so our brain is going to be functioning differently. And in that, I mean brain oscillations. So for example, if we're in the alpha state, our brain is functioning at a quite higher level. The brain oscillations are very kind of like spiky. So our brain energy, or our brain function, is quite fast, it's quite furious, because we are trying to make sense of our environment around us. For example, if some of us are at work, we're using our working memory if we're making a tea, tying our shoelaces. So our brain is pretty active in our alpha state. Now, when we're in our subconscious state, in our dream state, so we will oscillate between the beta and omega state. So our oscillations are going to be a lot long and a lot slower, because we are not using our working memory. We're not retrieving our functional memory. So it's going to be a lot long, and not the oscillations are going to be long and more fluid. Sorry, I knew what I want to say. Sorry. So when we're in our subconscious state, we are also processing what has happened during the day. We're also working through our emotions, what we have, what's going on for us. So this is why a lot of subconscious, a lot of spiritual, a lot of emotional stuff will come up in this subconscious state. Also, we might get a lot of downloads. And we also remember this when our dreams are so significant and we remember them. There's also a reason for this. There's a reason why it is showing up, or these dreams are coming to the forefront. It also means, from a spiritual perspective, everybody that we come into contact in our lives, particularly ones who we spend a lot of time with, ones who perhaps are maybe in our family, who we have romantic involvement, who we are also intimate with, we create an energetic bond with. And that doesn't just go because that person isn't in your life or you don't see them on a daily basis. That is still there. Do you remember I've talked about this quite a lot in my videos, where, maybe you are thinking of that person. That means that perhaps maybe that person is thinking of you, which then triggers you to then think of them. So this is the energetic cord that you are experiencing. On some level, we are all connected. Like, for example, being on this live, or you guys watching my videos, you will be at some level energetically connected to me because you will be watching my content. You will be embodying that. My voice, the image of me as well, will have some effect on you. Equally, like, for example, your comments. I know I don't see you like face to face, but I get a sense of each and every one of you who write comments, for example, in the chat. I get a sense of you because you are not going to write the same way as, say, someone else that's in the chat, or you're not going to write differently. So I get a sense of you from the words that you use, the way your sentence formation, all of these things. So can you see how this works? It's very intricate, but we all form a sense of people around us, particularly ones that we have kind of close to us in close proximity, some that have a lot of meaning. We're going to develop this energetic bond, and it is going to be strengthened. So whether that's positive or negative, that is going to be strengthened. So, for example, Oxford, your sister keeps coming into your dreams. For you, I would believe there's a question of why, they haven't heard from you. So they're going to be thinking of that. So the energy from your family is then going to trigger you into thinking of them. So I would imagine for you, it's about healing. For them, it's about understanding why they haven't heard from you in so long, why you haven't got in contact. So can you see how this is going to trigger that energetic cord? Now, energetic cords can dispense. They can be broken, but that takes time. And I'm sorry to say this, it takes around 7 years. And the reason why it's 7 years is because every 7 years in our body, our cells regenerate. Our body function regenerates every 7 years. So like literally you can become a new person, so to speak, in 7 years. So that is why energetic cords can go if you don't spend time with that person, or if you don't have any contact or communication with them. But also similarly, like if you're intimate with someone, you also connect with them on a really deep level. So you do form these energetic attachments with individuals. Also, those energetic cords can be broken after 7 years. So I know that was quite a long explanation. So I hope that makes sense. Janet says, a counselor told me my ex could go to therapy for years and he still couldn't promise he would be a good husband. He told me to get out. And I feel like, Janet, I would say that that's probably really true. Actually, that's probably really true, because again, it's all to do with awareness. Yeah. It's all to do with, yes. And 499 says bewitchment. Yeah, completely, completely. Oxford says, yes, I do feel energy pull in the daytime as well. Why can't they take a hint? Yeah, they're not going to, Oxford. It's going to keep pulling on your energetic cord. But what I would say to you is, it's about blocking it. It's about not getting annoyed. It's not about getting angry, because those are all negative emotions. They carry like a lower vibration. So it's about really just going, okay, I acknowledge it, but I let it go. I acknowledge it, I let it go. Do you know what I mean? Because the more that you resist it, the more that you look at this negatively, it's going to pull you into a lower vibrational state. You're always like, emotionally, you're going to be upset, you're going to be irritated, annoyed, and that doesn't make you feel good. So that's going to kind of match you on their frequency level as well. So this is another thing that you need to be aware of. Is like, don't get annoyed at this. And I know, I know this is easier said than done. Like, I get it. I completely get it. And it is really annoying. It is really irritating. But what I would say to you is, understand it for what it is and look at this in a different way. Okay, so that it doesn't upset you, so that it doesn't annoy you. It doesn't pull you into their frequency, into their vibrational match. Because remember, narcissists, or people who have like an out of control, ego, they're stuck in their ego. This is where they are in a negative headspace. So you don't want to be dragged down to their level. All right. Always think of it like, okay, I get it. I understand it. Think about this in a different way. Look at this from a different perspective. Okay, because this is where you protect yourself. If you vibrate higher, then no one can get to you. These people cannot affect you. Meaning, okay, they're thinking about me. This is what's going on. You know what? I send them peace. You don't even have to send them love. Send them peace. And I know that not all of you are at that point, and that's okay. I'm not saying that you have to be. We're all on different journeys. We're all at different stages here. But let's just go, okay, cool. You know what? That's you. So I hope that helps. And also says 7 years. Oh, bless you. Do I have 5 years more of this? I feel like over time, Oxford, it's not going to be as intense as this. That's what I would like to say, is that, yes, it is at the beginning quite intensive and quite irritating and annoying. But my friends, look, this is a process. This isn't, Speedy says, yeah, it's a soul tie. These are karmic relationships, my friends. Look it up. Look up the definitions of karmic relationships, all right? Whether you like it or not, and I'm sorry to say it, I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just being truthful here. You have these people in your life for a reason. Don't resist the reason why. Don't resist the lesson that needs to be learned here. Because the more that you resist, the more you stay in victim mentality. This is more about understanding what's going on here. How can I make my life better for me? If I'm trying to understand the lesson here, what is it? Why are they in my life? Why has this person, whether it's a family member, whether it's a romantic partner, whoever this person is in your life, figure out what it is that you're meant to be learning. Because whether you like it or not, you're not going to be able to get rid of this person just like that or that easily. This person will be around. And I'm sorry to say it. I'm not trying to be harsh. I really am not, my friends, because literally I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm trying to help you guys. But this is where you've got to be smart and level up, right? Whether you like it or not, this is what you don't have a choice. The choice or the perspective here is seeing this for a different way. Like, if you want to be a victim in this and think, why has this happened to me? Why do I have to go through it? Why has this happened to me? And I know that a lot of us do. A lot of us do get to that point. I did too. And I get it. I get it. I completely understand. And yeah, you can stay in that mindset for a while, for a little bit, but don't live there. Don't stay in that headspace thinking, why me? Why not you? Why not you? Yeah, it's hurtful, it's devastating, it's upsetting. But what do you do to get yourself out of it? Because you're in this. What can you do to get yourself out of it? And this is where you develop resilience, understanding. You get to know yourself. You become smart. You level up your mindset. And I tell you something, in a way, this is a gift because you're never going to be that same person that you were before that person came into your life. So this gives you an opportunity to become someone who is strong, someone who is resilient, someone to see the world for what it really is in a completely different way. A lot of people out there, they don't get this opportunity because a lot of them are asleep. A lot of them don't understand these dynamics, don't understand what really is going on here. You do. All right, you do. And I'm not saying, oh, you are the lucky ones because you've gone through this experience. No, there's nothing lucky about it. But this is where you have got to become strong. This is where you have got to become resilient. Okay. Yes, Keith, it is about fears. It is about fears. It's about overcoming that. It's about being strong. It's about seeing life in a completely different way. Yes, we would all love for it to be comfortable, for it to be good and just nice and airy-fairy and rainbows and roses. But sometimes it can be like that. But living in that state, you're going to become used to it. It's called homeostasis. You become used to living in that. But then what happens? You don't grow. You don't elevate. You don't level up. So you then become comfortable, victim mindset. You don't grow. We've come here to grow, to evolve, not to stay stuck, not to be a victim as to why all these things are happening to us. They do for a reason. This is where we've got to get strong. This is about thinking about this in a completely different way and not seeing it that you are the one that is the worst off, that is the hard done by. And you know what? I can say this because, yeah, it happened to me too. And you know what? I also was in victim mentality, but you know what? I thought to myself, stuff this. I can't stay in this mindset thinking, like, oh, why me? Why has this happened to me? Yeah, it is bad. Yes, it is crap. And yes, it is really hurtful. But what's the alternative, my friends? Sitting in that mind state. And now, because I've been able to do that, I can say to you that it works. Take it from me. I'll give, you can have the receipt because it works. Don't stay in mindset. You do have to think of this differently, all right? And you have to overcome this. And yes, it's going to take work, okay? Yes, it is. And I'm still, you know what? I'm not saying that I'm cured. I'm not saying that I know this 100%, but these are the steps that I have taken and I know that it works. Yes, I have psychology, theory, understanding, qualifications behind me. So I understand how the brain works, how emotions work. This is why I'm trying to say to you guys is don't stay in that victim mentality. Level up your mindset, become strong. You don't have a choice whether you want to be in this or not. But what you do have is a choice in how you handle this. Okay, in how you handle this. It doesn't mean that you have to become a harsh or a negative or a nasty person. No, because you can still stay in your heart space and still be a kind person. But you know what the key is here, my friends? The key here is about boundaries. And boundaries is all about protecting yourself. What is good for you? Because when you connect back to yourself, you begin to develop trust. You then begin to develop love for yourself. And I'm talking trust for yourself, love for yourself, and you then understand you. So when you understand you, it doesn't matter what anyone says out there, it doesn't matter how anyone makes you feel, because you're not giving that control. You're not handing over, that power to somebody else to determine how they are going to make you feel. For example, if someone says to you, oh, Anushka, your hair looks really bad today. It's really fluffy and your top doesn't really suit you. I'm going to go, yeah, no, my hair's fluffy because I'm in a tropical country. It's not going to be sleek and straight how I would like it. And my top blue's my favorite color. Like, I know it suits me. So the point I'm trying to make is I'm not going to let someone else affect the way that I feel, that I think about myself. Yeah, you know, my top, yeah. I like it. I like this color. It's baby blue and I know it suits me. I think it suits me. People may not. And so what I'm saying is you're not letting someone else's opinions, you know, of you affect you because you know yourself. That is the resilience. You then develop an understanding for your intuition. You'll know when it's your intuition or whether it's your ego or your fear talking to you. You know, like I tell you, like I over time I have developed the understanding, okay, because you know when I was coming out here, it was a really long flight for me. It was about like 18 hours, and we had a stopover in Dubai. And I've got to say, the weeks coming up to coming out here to Bali, I was so scared. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was so scared. I really nearly just didn't get onto that plane. This is not like a vacation. I'm here kind of like working, but also visiting. So I'm here for 2 months. So you're going to see a bit more of me in Bali and probably on this kind of time zone. And I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I'm sorry. It's kind of like the closest time I could get to kind of 9 p.m. over in the UK. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I really nearly didn't get on that plane. I thought to myself, what the hell am I doing? You know, like, why am I going somewhere else? Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be all of this. Yes, it is all of those things. Yes, I did have jet lag. Yes, it is difficult. Yeah, it's going to be hard traveling with all my heavy suitcases, with all the camera equipment, you know, all the recording stuff, making the videos. But it's not impossible. So that's what I'm saying to you, my friends. Fear, I get that as well. Like I feel that fear mindset. Yes, I cried. Yes, I had anxiety and I didn't sleep. You see, those are the things that you don't see about me, but I feel that. And I get that. Yes, I do have anxiety. Yes, I do. But the thing is, it's about how you cope with it. Hello, Charles. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining the live. Kat says, I've always wanted to go Bali. Yes, Bali's beautiful. Luke says, oh, okay. Yes, I'm in Bali. This is why I'm on that time zone. And I know some of you have put in the chat, like, isn't it your bedtime? In the UK, oh my God, in the UK, it would be like about 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it'd be 20 to 3 right now. So yeah, it would be my bedtime. I would so be asleep. But the point I'm trying to make, we've all got it. You have to override that mindset because it's the mindset that really challenges us and makes us think a certain way, which then stops us from doing certain things. I could also be comfortable. I could have just stayed in the UK, ordering my lattes, my oat milk lattes, going to the gym, seeing my friends, living in the cold. But you know what? I had my car. I had my apartment. I kind of know what I was doing. You know, I could, you know, see my friends on the weekends, go out for dinner. Yeah, that's comfortable. Yes, that is comfortable. But you know what? I wanted to see a different part of the world. Oh, Shannon, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the donation. I finally get to say hi and alive. Oh, I'm going to like your comment. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. You do. And hello to you too. Bless you. Thank you. Janet says, yeah, you went to Bali. Everyone says it's beautiful and spiritual. Yes, it is. Yes, Angela says it's 1:43 in Sydney, Australia. Oh my gosh. So you're like literally 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. Oh, thank you for joining. Bali is beautiful, right? I'm going to just sidetrack here for a little bit, my friends, but I will get back to the live. Hold on. How much battery have I got? I've got 50% left on my laptop. So we're doing good. We got time. We got time. Love that, Susan. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes. Kat, what are you doing up? Oh, bless you. Thank you for being on the live. Yes, it's 20 to 3 in the morning. I really hope that you fall asleep soon. Thank you for being here on the live. Oh. Okay. Bali is beautiful. I'm not going to lie. I've been here less than a week. When did I arrive? It was Thursday. Okay, yes, and the jet lag got me, so I felt all right actually by Sunday, because it's like from the UK it's 8 hours ahead, and I think from the US it's going to be around like minimum 10 to 12 hours. Anyway, it is beautiful. Like nature-wise, it's stunning. I have geckos. I see beautiful birds. I see different types of animals, the food, the nature. Yes. However, there is real poverty here. And it really breaks my heart because these people live a really simple life. And it really humbles me to how privileged I really am. Yes, things are a lot cheaper here, but there's a reason for that. These people know how to be really resourceful, and they live in kind of in tandem with nature. So that also is something to really look at, really realize. I try to help and give back as much as I can in terms of, I'll give a little bit of extra money, like tips. I'll try to go to local, oh, thank you, Janet. I try to go to local cafes or something like that. Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you. This is your third super on the live. Bless you. Thank you, Janet. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, I try to give back as much as possible, but also you do have to understand that this is the people's livings, and so not to get scammed. This is another thing that you have to also be aware of. And yes, they do. They're very accommodating. They're very kind, and they'll do anything for you. And there are some real people here who is unconditional. The way that they don't want anything back. It's really unconditional. And you know what that makes me think is that this is really the nature and the spirit of human beings. It's something that, I've got to say it like this, and sorry, that us Westerners have lost because of the system that we live in. This is probably possibly why narcissism is so prevalent in our society. Oh, Janet, thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here. And Kat, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that it's helping. I really do. This is what I notice when I'm here in Bali. So, and also there's a lot of Westerners who also scam as well, who kind of say, oh yeah, this is so spiritual, but it's all show. It's all show. So it's about using your discernment. And this is what I'm saying. If I wasn't in touch with my intuition, I would be going to all these retreats who are just, it's just a scam. A lot of these things are just a scam. There's nothing spiritual about it. It's all quite egotistical. And if we want to say it, quite narcissistic, like, look at me, I'm a spiritual guru. Remember, narcissism exists in all different walks of life. Okay, and this is where you have to use your discernment. And when you are connected to yourself, when you understand yourself, this is where, my friends, this is where you are going to be able to determine whether something is like this, or where something's positive, or when something is bad. And that's one thing that I would say to every single one of you. Kat says the poorest areas are the most grateful and at peace with themselves. Yes. This is also very true, because you become humbled, you have to be resourceful, you don't have a lot of money. And in the Western world, it's been very much programmed that you need money to be able to get resources. Whereas here, it's a lot more, it's about nature, and nature, there's like plentiful of food, like fruits, and food, and really, and shelter. You build your own, they built their own homes here. Fruit. Like, for example, coconuts, mangoes, they grow on the trees. In the fields, you've got rice fields as well. It all grows naturally. There's plentiful resources of it. So I feel like that's the difference between the Western and the Eastern world. That's just what I have noticed as well. Oh, thank you, Eric. Beautiful recognition. I love Bali. Yes, Bali is beautiful. And it's about having your eyes open to what really is going on. Right. I knew I was going to lose what I was talking about. Right. So I made notes. Nowadays I make notes because I know that I will go on different tangents and things like that. But it's lovely to have a chatting with you guys. It really is. I really love being able to talk with you guys. This is why I really love the live. Sometimes I'll do it kind of like workshop style, where it's like, right, this is what is going on. But do you know what? I love these kind of lives where you can just kind of freestyle it. And, like I have a plan, like a loose plan that I want to follow, but it's just so nice to connect with you guys, honestly. Just your kindness, your energy. I'm so, so grateful, honestly. Sending like a huge hug to every single one of you. Also, thank you so much for the likes. Those of you that are not on the chat and maybe watching, like, I'd be really grateful if you were to like this live. Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the next bit is why narcissists don't change. And there's four different reasons on four main reasons why narcissists don't change. The first one is that they have a lack of self-awareness. And then this is what we were talking about earlier, is just this lack of awareness. They don't see themselves as the problem. And this is what I was saying about them going into therapy. They don't really, their motivation for change is completely different to ours, to why we go into therapy, to why we do that. So please understand that this isn't about them changing. This is just about them having their needs reinforced. And I feel like that's the driving motivator, is having their needs met. Ultimately, they also have lower levels of empathy. Now, as we know, empathy is something that we are not born with. It's something that we are taught. So when someone has lower levels of empathy, how can they really understand how it makes you feel, how you are feeling, what's going on for you? They struggle to genuinely care about others' pains. They struggle to understand themselves as well. So empathy is very much about emotional intelligence. And again, this is something that is learned through your environment, through other people like your caregivers or your parents. And again, if your parents have not been motivated or don't understand themselves, then they're not going to be doing that. They're not going to be teaching you that. That's not what's going to be at the forefront. Equally, if you have people around you who do have higher levels of empathy, emotional intelligence, then you are also going to be able to resonate with those people and develop higher levels of emotional intelligence. Narcissists also have fear and vulnerability. So changing would mean admitting their own faults. And this goes against their ego. So if you're admitting that you've done something wrong, if you're admitting that you're a bad person, if you're admitting that you don't care, what's that doing? That's exposing you, isn't it? That's showing vulnerability, that, you know what, I'm a human being and there's good and bad things about me. And I don't mind telling you, because they have a fear of judgment. They have a fear of somebody seeing them in that way. So when they don't want to be seen less than perfect. Remember, they're the ones that got to be in control. They're the ones that are wonderful and perfect. And you are the one that is less than. Remember that you are less than. So again, this is very ego-led. This is how they think from their ego mind. These are all defense mechanisms. So that threatens that. So also, when they think like that, that's how they have developed their thinking. That's how they have been kind of taught, or have taught themselves to think. And that keeps them safe in their bubble. So if they're going to admit fault, if they're going to say, oh no, that's wrong, or I said that, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that, then that threatens them. So they're not motivated for change. And then you've got enablers and the supply, people who don't really understand. So as long as people are enabling them, telling them how wonderful they are, giving them validation, why do they need to change? If you're getting your needs met, why would you need to change? Because you're doing good, right? So why have you got to change? Remember, the ego wants you to stay being comfortable. Okay, they don't want you to evolve. And that's what I'm saying. When you stay in victim mentality, you're comfortable. It's like, oh, why did this happen to me? Like, this is so bad. Yeah, it is bad. Yes, it is bad. But staying in that mindset, what is it doing for you? It doesn't make you feel good, does it? Because if it did, then you could stay in that mindset. It keeps you comfortable, though. So I once worked with someone who said that their narcissistic partner changed for a few months, okay, with one of my clients. But as soon as they felt comfortable, so as soon as my client felt comfortable, the narcissist returned to their old ways. All right. Has anyone ever experienced this before in the past with their narcissistic or toxic relationship? Drop a yes in the comments. Because some of them, they're able to adapt their behavior, don't they? They're able to adapt the behavior that's going on. Stace, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Sorry, I just saw it because I was reading off my notes. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you to all of you for your donations. I'm so grateful to every single one of you. Thank you. Oh, bless you, my friends. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Honestly, you guys are so kind to me. Thank you. Thank you. Christina says, if you delay self-awareness, you won't grow and you will stay in your mindset, yes, and continue to attract the same type of people until you learn who you are. Yes, yes, and yes. Christina, that is an absolute godsend. It's gold dust, this comment. You are absolutely right. You will attract the same type of people if you don't learn who you are. If you don't work on yourself, don't connect to yourself. This is so important. This is the remedy to all of it, my friends, to all of it. Okay? This is the remedy. Shannon, thank you. I'm just noticing all these donations. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. It is not a minor donation. I'm so grateful to every single one of you. Oh my God. It's a minor donation with your videos and how it has helped me and others. Oh, thank you, guys. You don't need to do this. It's so kind of you. Do you want to see the true equality amongst people? Yeah, place a bunch of narcissist survivors in a room together. Truly, no judgment, only love. Oh my God, guys. Yes, you're right. Yes. Thank you, my friends. Oh, that's honestly, I don't want to cry, but like I've got a lump in my throat. Thank you for all of your donations. Shannon, Stace, you guys, you really don't have to. Melty, thank you. Oh my God, guys. I'm just sorry. I'm just liking it all on the. I'm so grateful. And Mr. Anderson, thank you for gifting the memberships. Oh my God, thank you. Stace, thank you. You really don't have to. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Thank you. You guys are going to make me cry. Yeah, I did, Eric. Thank you. Okay, I'm sending all of you big hugs too. Honestly, please, no, you don't need to. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Oh, bless you guys. So kind, so kind. Okay. So, going back. Oh, thank you, 6XX. You're also. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoy the journal prompts. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that they work. I just, do you know what? I get these ideas throughout the week, and I'm thinking, yeah, that one would be really good. Like, what could I do? You guys are amazing. Thank you. And big hugs to every single one of you. Thank you for the likes as well, for the thumbs up. Just true kindness. And this is what I'm saying, you know, like real people, real emotion. Yes, Bali 2025. Yes. Oh. You see, my friends, don't ever think that the true spirit of a human, that kindness, that love doesn't exist. I know that. Oh, Shannon, thank you. Oh, guys are stunning. Thank you for the memberships, Journal Prompt Club. Thank you. You see, it does exist. Even though we have been with narcissists and we have experienced the darker side of life, of what really happens, please do not lose faith in that. You know what? Because you are one. You are kind, compassionate, loving people. So people like you do exist, okay? But this is where we have to connect to ourselves and use our discernment. We can't trust everybody. And the people that we can trust are the ones what we learn from our intuition. And that's what I'm saying to every single one of you. Just be aware that there are people like that. It's like what I was saying, the examples of people like in Bali. Yes, there is that true unconditional love, but also these people want to make a living. Oh my God, NC Fire, thank you guys for your donations. I'm speechless again. Thank you. Been watching Anushka 2 years. Whoever says her hair's black or whatever, sure can't see her heart. Thank you. Even at her worst, she is always will be the queen. Oh, thank you. You guys are stunning. Thank you. Oh, thank you for honestly, just for this kindness, for how lovely your heart is. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. Just amazing people. Right, I'm on 37%. Okay. So you guys are just, I'm grateful to every single one of you. Thank you, and thank you for all of your kindness, for all of your donations. You're stunning people. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Anderson says, I was, Shannon, oh my God, and more. Really, please stop. No more. You've done enough. Thank you. I really appreciate it. No more. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Oxford. I'm not going off live yet. It's 11 a.m. here. I can stay on for a little bit more. I've got 36% on my laptop, so I'm just going to stay on until I literally, it's gone. So who is this? I think we've got trolls. We've got trolls. Okay, so we got rid of that person. Thank you, Armstrong 72. Right, hold on. Mr. Anderson was saying, I was married for 24 years and 5 years after my divorce, and I'm finally returning to what I was like many years ago. Yes, amazing, amazing. 24 years, bless you. You had to put up with that for such a long time. 24 years, long time. But what is wonderful to hear, is that you are returning to who you are. And that is the most important, because I always say this, which is quite a therapeutic thing, going back to who we used to be, okay, before that person entered our lives. That is what is important, okay, because that is the true essence of you. So us coming home to ourselves is really learning who we were before this person entered our lives. That is your real true personality, because these people come into your lives. They're so challenging. They're so derogatory. They're so horrible. It causes you to adapt who you are. And that's why we become these people who we don't recognize anymore, who we are. And when we leave these relationships, that sticks with us, because we have developed a way of being in our environment. So I always say that is the most important. Thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you. Just are amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate you for gifting all of these memberships. Thank you. So going back in time, this is another thing that I talk to for my clients to do a lot of, is just literally going back in time. And that's really you know, who you were before this person came into your life. You know what I always say? Listen, when you go back in time, like that's obviously like an age that you were. Um, Listen to music from that time. Because I think music is also very powerful. It's very transformative. You can always remember, like, I don't know, like I listen to, oh, who was it? Mariah Carey or Alanis Morissette. Who else? Oh, what is their names? Oh, Snoop Dogg or whatever, like, you know, like music from that time when I was younger, like that was for me the most happiest. So I usually like to go back and re-listen to that. And that just always makes me happy. So I'm sure that there is a moment in time as well for you guys that exists that made you really happy, that where you felt where you felt good. Danielle says, I'm sure the people who got lifted with one are the ones who really need it. Yes. Thank you, Shannon. Yes, please, you've been more than generous, like literally more than generous. Thank you for all of this. I'm honestly so grateful to you. Thank you for all of it. You are a gentleman. You're right, Eric. You know, gratitude or the prince of the human emotions. Yes, you really are. There's no more. Okay. Keep your money. Spend it on you. Thank you. Susan says, so true. Get back to your real self. Yes. Oxford says, do you think it's worse with family than a boyfriend or a girlfriend? That's a good point. I think with family, yeah, I do. Actually, I do. And the reason why I think it's more challenging with family is because it's like with anything, you know, certain labels like mother, father, sister, auntie, uncle carry connotations, carry meaning. So when someone is your mother, for example, it carries there's the label mother and it's carries connotations with it. So a mother, how we associate that word or the way that it makes us think is that someone who is nurturing, who is kind, who will look out for us, who will always be there for us. But when that person doesn't fit that idea or isn't that, it really confuses us, and that's called cognitive dissonance. Similar, like when you get into a narcissistic relationship, the way that you get to know that narcissist right at the beginning, you're being love bombed, you're being told what you want to hear, you're not seeing a true representation of that person. And this happens with whether they're a narcissist or not. Okay, this is why I always say to you, take your time with people. People always will reveal who they are. So, for example, even more so if you have doubts and you think that this person is narcissistic or very challenging. So we develop a schema, which means an impression, which means we develop an understanding of that person based on our first impressions. And what happens is it makes it then really difficult to change it because then that confuses our mind. Everybody that comes into our lives, we always develop first impressions. This is why that saying is so true. First impressions count. So this is the same premise, the connotation of mother. What does the mother mean? And when the mother doesn't live up to that, or father or sister, and when that label isn't met, it causes confusion or psychological burnout in our minds. And this is a real thing, like talking about this psychologically and also emotionally. Shannon, thank you. I really, really appreciate you and your donations. Thank you. So kind of you. And so, yeah, going back to what I was saying, it makes it really, really difficult. And that causes brain burnout. And that is a psychological term. This is something that this is the cognitive dissonance that we experience. The trauma bond, yes, very good point, Oxford. The trauma bond is as well another level. This is caused like an emotional trauma that we experience and that we are then unable to process and understand it because, again, we're looking at these people, they have certain labels, they are our mother, our father, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, our husband, our wife. So we always believe that this person would never do that to us. And also having the understanding that this person is toxic, that really hurts. You know, understanding that someone is narcissistic, that they have done this, especially knowing that they are hurting you. How hurtful is that? And also our brain is wired to protect us. This is the survival mechanism. This is the defense mechanism. It's part of our ego. So our brain is wired to ensure our survival. That is why. That is what is going on here. So our brain is always going to find the path of least resistance to make it comfortable for us. This is also part of the trauma bond. We then start to doubt ourselves and think, oh, are they really a narcissist? Did that really happen to me? No, they're not. Maybe I'm the narcissist. Maybe I deserve this because I didn't do this, this, and this. You see, this is where the remedy to this is not being in victim mentality. It's coming home to yourself, really believing in you, really strengthening that. This is the gift. This is the remedy to really become strong, to really work on you. And that's then when you develop that trust, that love, that understanding for self, because it always comes back to self. It's not about anybody else. It's just you. So when you have that strength within you, when you become strong within you, that is the main point. Yeah, they do, Eric. The profane, the sacred, those family taboos wind up wreaking havoc for your generations. Yeah, and it causes, like I said, it causes that brain burnout, but it also causes you to look at reality and everything differently because you are then being gaslighted. And then what you also do is you learn to gaslight yourself and develop maladaptive understanding schemas, I was about to say, understanding about the world around you. And this is what happens in narcissistic or toxic families, particularly with enmeshment, where the child is not able to develop a sense of self, so a sense of understanding, and they have to fit into what the family thinks, the family ideals, into family dynamics. So they go out into this world and they're quite vulnerable if you think about it. So they need to have these huge defense mechanisms because they understand the world a certain way. And when they go out there, people don't get it. Like people are like, well, what's this? You know, someone who has lower levels of empathy, they think that, you know, things are very challenging, things are very different, and they stick out. That person will then stick out and be different, and that will be noted. So you see also, like with narcissists, they try to fit into their environment as well, right at the beginning, so that they are liked, and then people trust them. Do you see how trust is really important here? This is where you've got to trust yourself. When you trust yourself, your intuition is going to tell you that there's something not quite right with this person. And I'm sure that every single one of you would have felt that and thought that there's something not okay with this person. Can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. But there you go. That's just it. Tarajo, well, I'm glad you managed to catch the first live. I'm because I know that the timing is a little bit more plausible for the US audience. So I do understand, not for the UK, but we do have Kat from the UK. Bless you. I hope you've fallen asleep. Stephen says, I've been writing everything out since she's not allowed to contact me just now. Yeah, good. Keep doing that. Mr. Anderson says, my ex-wife continued to text me for over 3 years after the divorce, even after she'd moved across the country to California. I finally blocked her after she asked me a month into the strike if we were on strike. Typical, isn't it? Typical. I'm glad that you were able to block her. And I know that's not easy to block someone, to cut communication with someone. I know that's not easy. But for your own sanity, for your own headspace, for your own time and space to be able to work it out, you got to do what's good for you. That's called boundaries. You know, giving yourself that time for you to be able to kind of work things through in your mind, for you to be able to understand what's going, put the pieces together. That's what's important. That is what is going to help you. Peanut butter. These handles are so funny. It's like they pass on the curse. They leave you feeling empty and invisible, just like they must have felt as kids. Yeah, yes, I agree. I agree, peanut butter. That's exactly what happens. And do you know why? Because that is how they have learned to be, isn't it? That is how they have learned to be. So everything that they put you through, the way that they make you feel, this is all what they would have experienced in childhood, ultimately. Because they don't know any other way to be. If they're not that intelligent, all they're doing is doing what they used to do as children, when they were kids, in their family environment. It's how their parents have treated them. So no one stopped them in their lives and gone, hey, do you know what? That is not the way to be, or that's wrong. No one has done that. No one has said to them, that's not the right way to be. Because they remember, their parents wouldn't have enforced it. Their parents would have encouraged that behavior. So that's how they now believe life to be. They believe that everyone is against them. That's a very ego thing. When we start to believe that the world is against us, it's not. You just got to protect yourself. You've got to be able to have boundaries and protect yourself. And the only way that you develop these strong boundaries is if you get to know yourself, because you know what you're willing to accept and what you're not. And when you don't have boundaries, you allow anybody to do whatever it is they want to you. It's not right. And then what happens when someone speaks to you in a wrong way or in an upsetting way? It makes you feel a certain way. And then you're upset. Think about the emotions that go alongside that. Makes you feel bad, doesn't make you feel good. So connection to self, like I say, is the medicine here. So how can you do that? Well, you work on your mindset. You work on understanding your emotions and being able to control them. Remember, yes, it's important to feel them. It's important to have emotions, but you're not led by emotions, because your emotions will then affect your thoughts, and your thoughts are not you. You are in control of you. No one out there is in control of you. No one. And you mustn't allow that. You control you. You control your reality. And you accept the experiences that you want to have. If you don't like it, do something about it. Because it's okay saying, oh, no, I don't like this, and this is not okay, and that's that. But you know what? You actually got to do something about it. You're the one that's got to take action and do it. Thank you, Eric. Please do smash the like button. Thank you. We're 30 away from 100. I wonder, I'm on 25% battery as well. So I hope maybe we can get to 100 before then. Peanut Butter says, writing, thank you for your content, you're welcome. Writing the ick list helped me so much. This is also a very good thing, the ick list. Please do, every single one of you, if you're at that point, do write the ick list. This is good. I thought I'd be 5 things, but it was like 50 things long. And that's the thing, you'll find that, yeah, you might think, oh yeah, I didn't like that, that, and that. But when you really think about it, there was a lot you didn't like about this person. There was a lot that this person took for granted. And there was a lot of things that this person made you feel, but didn't have the right to do that. Absolutely. Tarajo says, yeah, it bleeds into other areas of your life. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Narc Healing says they are never good at catching, they're never good at catching lies, but they think they are all, but they think all are lying to them. That's why they all keep doing drama all day. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yes, it is about drama. It is about getting people's attention. And it is about evoking an emotional response from somebody all the time. So that gets tiring. That gets annoying. That gets just so boring, you know? But it is about causing some sort of an emotional response from somebody, whether it's positive or negative. Very tiring, very tiring. NC Fire 51 says, if you were discarded, be proud. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. If you were discarded, be proud. Yes. It means you were too strong for them. You weren't an easy target anymore. They are lazy creatures. They go for easy. Yeah, they do. They do. Stace, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. They do. And they are chances. And it is about easy. It's always about easy. The path of least resistance. Very ego. Very ego. Staying comfortable. Remember, my friends, if you stay comfortable, then everything is okay. You don't need to learn. You don't need to elevate. You don't need to change anything, because you know what? Why? Everything's okay. You're getting your needs met. So yes, it is about being comfortable. It is about the path of least resistance and it being easy. Victim mentality. And then you find that a lot of narcissists, a lot of toxic people, it's like, I can't believe that happened to me. That's so hard. That's so bad. Yeah, victim mentality. Oh, who said that? Danielle says, oh, been there. Happy healing and happy day, my friend. Oh, bless you. That was to Eric. So kind, all of you. Lovely, lovely people. Keith says they always tell on themselves. They name drop the people they are seeing. Yeah, yes. Shannon. You weren't meant to do that. Thank you. That is a lot of money. Thank you. You are just an amazing person. All in, right, no more. Donate, but can't. Doesn't mean a damn thing, but friendship, care, love is actually what does. Everyone here is awesome. Yes. And I wish you never went through what you did. Do not exonerate this donation. Shannon, thank you for your message, for your kindness, for your thoughtfulness, and for being so amazing, so lovely, and for your really thoughtful and generous words. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Every single one of you are special. Every single one of you will get through this. But this is about seeing this for and in a different way. This is about elevating yourself. And this is what I want to say to you guys. Please don't look at yourselves as victims. Yes, it's awful what has happened, but you will get through this and you will go and be in a different headspace, heart space, and you will see the world differently. Good night, Oxford. I hope you sleep well, my friend. I really do. So, you know, it's important for you, all of you, to really see this as you being strong and amazing, okay? Because not everyone goes through these experiences. Not everyone has to do that. So in a way, it shows your resilience. It shows what a wonderful person you actually are. How amazing you actually are. And how you are strong enough to get through this. Because this isn't for the faint-hearted, and nor do you have a choice. You know what? You guys do, because you see through the game and you do something about it. You're here on the live. I'm sure you watch my videos. I'm sure you watch other people's videos. Good. Keep doing that. Keep educating yourself. This is about becoming stronger in your heart and your head. Okay. Danielle says, narcs can go easy if they want. They think they've won, that they've got away with hurting you, but they haven't. You're right. Because you see through it. Yeah, that's why. They will end up eating and living the karma they created. Yes, here, they do, because karma does not miss anyone. And it's true, because it's the law of allowing, isn't it? Because whatever you send out into the space out there is going to come back to you. So if you're a narcissist, if you're that way, look at their lives. Look at the way they live. Look at the way they are. It's the same thing over and over again in a cycle, but they're expecting a different result. Do you think they're really happy? Do you think they really love their life? No, because they're always in survival mode. They're always trying to get from one thing to another. Not you, my friends, not you. You realize this for what it is. You get it. You're like, yeah, no. And you do something about it. So when you go into therapy, when you, for example, even listening to these lives, when you go and get help, when you do you, and you work on yourself, you're choosing yourself, you're choosing to elevate and level up and saying that I'm not going to accept this anymore. I'm just going to go forward in my life. That is where you are becoming stronger. That's where you're seeing through the game, realizing that actually you do have a choice in this world, that actually it is all about you, and that no one is going to control you. No one's going to tell you what you're supposed to feel, hear, think, all of this. It all comes down to you. Narc Healing UK says they satisfied their self in childhood. That's why they sacrifice everyone. I agree. No, Janet, don't be annoyed. Don't. Do you know why? Because a lot of the times, you know what? You didn't see through this because you never thought people like this exist. And also you're not like that. So you wouldn't have understood that behavior in someone else. Like, who goes into these relationships thinking, oh, I'm going to stay in these relationships because I know that person is abusive. I know that person is going to lie to me. I know that person is going to cheat on me. I know that person is going to be nasty and make me change my whole complete reality. I'm going to stay. Janet, there's no way that you even thought that or knew it. No one in their right mind would. If you did, I'm sure you would have run 1,000 miles a different direction from them. So it's not about that why you upset with yourself. You didn't know. You didn't see it. None of us did. None of us would have stayed in such dynamics. So this is about really understanding that this person took your kindness as weakness and exploited that. That's what they did. So it's about forgiving yourself, not being upset with you. You were fooled because you didn't know. And it's not like you even were fooled. You didn't know that people like this exist. So I know that quite a few of you probably think this. So this is where I want you guys to really connect to yourself. Don't be upset. Don't be annoyed. Don't be feeling so irritated with yourself. Just forgive yourself. Like, who knew? You know, like if you knew, you know what you would have done. You would never have got into this. You would have run. But think about it. Why do these people have to be like this? Because they know that this person isn't going to stay with them if they are nasty, if they are narcissistic, if they're gaslighting and lying to this person. Think about how long they had to craft this spell that they had to put you under. And also added to the fact the maintenance where they've got to keep you trapped. So this isn't about, oh, I'm such an idiot for not seeing it. You're not an idiot. Don't talk to yourselves like that. Don't think about yourselves like that. If you had known, you would not have stayed. You wouldn't have been there. And that's how you have to see it. Again, if you're saying that, don't be stuck in victim mentality. Okay? It's another thing that you guys have got to remember. Exactly, Keith. No one in their right mind says, I love you whilst planning your dismiss. I mean, what the hell is that about? Seriously, what is that? That just shows, just on a level, mental health, doesn't it? You think one thing, you say one thing, and then you do another, right? There's no fluidity, is there? There's no fluidity with that. The heart and the head, there's no fluidity, is there? That's mental health. Yes, Janet, you were naive, you didn't know. And that's the issue. Susan, you're right. Wash, rinse, repeat, done cycling with those narcs. And that's just it. That's just the behavior. That's the cycle. Because it's comfortable, because it's predictable, and it's easy, right? Remember? Easy. Yes, Susan, I agree with you. 499, it's a trap. Love bombing is a trap. Yeah, it's the trap to keep you. I can tell you what you want to hear. I'll show you what you want to see. Just stay. Just stay. And again, let's look at this from the bigger picture. Why would you need to tell someone something that they want to hear and behave in a way that they want you to, or that you think that they want you to, why can't you just be yourself? Why can't you just be real and authentic? Why? Because they know that, number one, they can't do that. They know that they will lose you if they are themselves. They know this. So think about that. Again, that's emotional and mental health problems. You have to trick someone to stay with you. You have to bend someone's free will to stay with you. You have to lie to them. Yeah, that's not right, is it, my friends? It's not right. It's just very bad and not right. Yes, 4.99. They mirror you and say, oh, that's my favorite thing. Yeah, like things like that, exactly. Susan says, be nice to yourself and give yourself a big hug, okay? Yes, you are right. Hug yourselves. This is very important, hugging yourself, showing yourself love. Lisa says, my brother stayed because against him. Now they have no father. Yeah, bless him. That's pure manipulation. It sounds to me like she wanted what she wanted, and she trapped your brother into something that, again, stayed there because of his, not because of his free will, but because he was forced. So that's emotional slavery. I'm sorry that that happened. That's really bad. Peanut Butter says they needed you to feel better about themselves, your presence, your energy. You do matter. You are more important than you think, my friends. This person really relies on you, really needs to have you in their life. That's why. That's why they are like this. They needed you to feel better. You're right, Peanut Butter. They do. They do. They need that. They need that to happen. Tarajo says, yeah, eventually you realize they never ask about you. Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, you're right, Eric. It's so similar to a hostage situation. It's emotional terrorism. That's what it is. And that's where you need to see this for what it really is. I know that a lot of you still think about them and you wish things were different. And I know a lot of you are still in that trauma bond. But this is where you got to take your power back and think about this completely differently. All right? You know who they are. Thank you, Stace, and thank you, Eric. You guys know who you are. Why would you be thinking about someone who abused you, who upset you? Why would you still be kind of wishing and wanting? And I know a lot of this is to do with the understanding of the trauma bond, the things that go around in your mind. I know that some of it is to do with anger, like, why would you have done that? We were doing really well. We were doing good. There's also the projection of the future, of who you thought, you know, you would be in the future, your identity, who you actually are, the way that you had crafted the future, or you thought the future would go. There's also the grief of that. But this person showed you someone who they are not. They are not the same person that they showed you right at the beginning of this interaction, of this relationship, or even growing up in childhood. That's not who they are. You may have caught glimpses of it, but it's not sustainable. It's not who they are, who they really are in their conscious waking state. These people obviously have gone through something very early on in their lives. And until they face this and work through it, they are going to be stuck in this loop of thinking, in this loop of behavior. This will not change. This is why these loops, the value, the devalue, discard. Oh, let's value them again. Let's get them back in. Yes, let's value them. Oh, now that they're comfortable, let's discard them. Let's get rid of them. Again, the cycle. It's all about cycles, because cycles keep that person safe. Think about it, right? If you go through life and you know that if you behave a certain way, you know what the outcome is going to be. You know that that person is going to behave in a certain way. Again, let's do the cycle. Value, devalue, discard. When they discard you, they know that you're going to be back, that you will come back, because all they've got to do is say and do this, and that person will be back. How damaging is that? How awful is that? How hurtful and how unhumane that is. You keep that person trapped. You don't let them go free. It's just what the trauma bond does as well. They keep you trapped. But until you break through those cycles, those thought patterns, we break through those thought patterns and see it for what it really is, you will realize that you don't want this person in your life. When you really understand how they behave and what they are doing, you don't want this person in your life. Because what? You're gonna behave the same way. Because remember, we do end up doing what they do. We do end up seeing or understanding their way of being, because we have been around them for so long. So then we start to emulate those patterns and that way of thinking, because we have no choice. It's part of us trying to survive a very challenging experience. Eric says, I haven't been in emergency in more than 6 years. This is a massive period of time for me. I credit the woman behind Ask Anushka. Oh, thank you for arresting the violence that was part of my life. Bless you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're all right. Yeah, stay alert. You're right, Tojo. Stay alert and strong. It's so complicated, but it's so freeing as well. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's about the way that you think about it. Remember, it's all about perspective, my friends. You need to have perspective, and remember, you have choices. Choose the right path. When you're connected to yourself, you then understand you, and then you can make the right choices for you. Okay, that really resonate because you understand you. This is about being able to connect to yourself in a way that truly matters. Yes. Mr. Anderson says, she was mirroring me, mirroring my activism. I'm third generation UAW. When she left, she stopped even keeping an eye on the current events. She wasn't paying to national or even local news. Yeah, see? That's what I mean. You know, this is what they do. And this is all about the entrapment. This is where you need to level up. You need to level up and see this and connect to yourself. They really are so much sad people. You almost feel sorry for them. I know what you mean, Susan. You do end up feeling sorry for them, but there's a level of that and there's boundaries, but then there's also about protecting yourself. And this is what you need to remember. Guys, my battery is I'm literally on 5%. So I'm going to probably have to go. Otherwise, we're literally going to cut off. But you know what? I will be back this time next Tuesday. For some of us, it's Wednesday. I'll be back at this time next week. Just check my channel for more details. And I will, yeah, it's flashing at me low battery. Your Mac will sleep soon unless, oh my God. Yeah, so I'll be back this time next week. For those of you, hopefully will be able to join on. Because it's been amazing chatting with you guys. So I will be on this time next week. So just quickly, I want to some final thoughts and some takeaways. So narcissists rarely change because they don't think that they need to. And, you know, if they temporarily change, it's often manipulation, not real growth. So when you hear from them again, when they get back in contact, when they start to hoover, remember, this is manipulation and it's not real growth. They haven't really changed. They haven't really worked on themselves to think like, oh, you know, I really care about this person. I really value them and I want to change to make things better for them. That's not what happens. True change requires deep self-awareness and therapy, which most narcissists, if at all, they don't pursue that. And one thing that I need you to remember is that you're not responsible for fixing them, okay? You are not responsible. You are responsible for you. That's it. Period. So guys, if you have found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join my Patreon membership for deeper support. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Lisa, thank you. Mark Lee, good night. Tarajo, thank you. Eric. Oh, thank you. Yours, yes, it's now afternoon. It's 11:39 in the morning for me. But yeah, I'm going to go into the office. It's raining, so I really want to get to the gym, but no sightseeing today and no exploration. So I'm just going to literally get a little moped. Not me driving it, but someone's going to drive me. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to. Do you know what, my friends? Yes, you guys are right. I need. Today's rainy day. I'm going to start kind of putting some more kind of work into my book. I need to start writing. That's what I need to do. Thank you, Susan. Yes, Lisa, they will never change. No, no, no. Thank you, all of you, for your well wishes. Thank you. Thank you, Peanut Butter, Aquarius, Keith, Mr. Anderson, and Brody, for your donations. Like, all of you that have donated, I'm so grateful to you. Like, honestly, thank you. Thank you. And Huge Dealer as well. Thank you. Scout, thank you. And remember, you deserve relationships where change isn't a condition. It's natural. Stay strong, stay informed. And you know what, my friends? I will see you next week, same time. I've got a video coming out tomorrow and the rest of the week. So do be sure to kind of watch them. Guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, also, if you want to know what I get up to, follow me over on Instagram. But yeah, guys, thank you. Have a blessed rest of the day or next day. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.